in like fucking Guam that I'm buying these carts from, right? Through a dude. And I was buying them. He'd be like, which ones do you have? We have these flavors. I would hit him like 5 times. It would immediately be burnt. Oh my God, I feel it right here in my cheeks. I'd hit it and it would be so burnt that I would, like, my whole body would shrivel. And I'd go, nah, it's fine. Horrible. Smoking carts is just inhaling straight metal, dude. Don't smoke carts at all.
Wisconsin is the quiet village of Paddock Lake, surrounded by vast farmlands, quiet country roads, and dotted with clusters of trees.
Why would you do that to yourself? Because I wanted to get high and not spend money at a dispensary. Now, I got money. I also wasn't 21 at the time. But now I got money, so, you know, I could just go to the dispensary. I buy overpriced shit.
It's a peaceful place that's far removed from the bustle of big cities.
Then cover.
The village, home to about 3,200, is built around its namesake lake, a hub for summer boating and
cut lengthwise into
it's the kind
1/8
of
to
town where
quarter-inch
everyone
strips.
knows everyone, especially
Yo, I just full zoned out, bro. They live in a nice ass town, some shit like that.
when it comes to their local high school.
Rotate the
Westosha
strips 90
Central High
degrees
School acts as the central
and dice
hub
into
for
1/8
students
to quarter-inch
across the area.
pieces.
The school standing
Yo, everybody in that high school had
Then
a geek
cover.
in 2018, bro. Holy. You have the kid that's selling 2 million fucking Rick and Morty cards
Then,
across the United States in your high school class.
on the outskirts of
jalapeno
Paddock
west.
Lake is a modern
Place the
building
pieces
that
flat.
almost feels out
And cut
of
lengthwise
place
into
next
1/8
to the
quarter-inch strips.
village's small homes and rustic charm. But it's here where the youth
Rotate
of
the
the
strips 90
Westosha
degrees
region
and dice into
gather
1/8
to
quarter-inch
learn,
pieces.
play sports, and in the
Check your
case
cut
of
size.
Tyler
Improve body type. The rest of
Huffhines,
the yard.
make some
Place the dice jalapenos
questionable
into a deep third hand.
decisions.
After you've
Tyler
cut all the
grew up
jalapenos,
with his older
then
brother,
cover.
mother,
Label
and
and refrigerate.
grandfather in a quiet neighborhood overlooking Paddock Lake. From an early age, Tyler was drawn to business, often sitting quiet.
You should make your own carts, Bart cart. Bro, I actually talked to my manager about that. I was like, would that be a fire idea for me to create my own weed strain and just like sell edibles and shit and like open a dispensary? He was like, you would not get any sponsor for the rest of your life. I was like, oh. Like if I created my own weed brand like Flight,
listening to his mom's business meetings and pleading to open his own bank account. By 7th grade, he was already on his grind flipping sneakers to make a profit. And when he entered Westosha Central as a freshman, his entrepreneurial skills only got sharper. While other students were caught up in sports and mowing down kids on Nuketown, Tyler was learning the ropes of business, taking as many business and leadership classes as possible while always looking for his next money-making gig. As his high school years went on, he made thousands of dollars flipping used cars while also investing heavily in the stock market the day he turned 18. After Tyler graduated high school in 2018, he attended Carthage College and worked alongside his brother at
bro, this is what's so fucked is like he probably could have made millions of dollars doing other shit. Like if you have that type of drive where you're in high school making thousands of dollars flipping vehicles, you're already investing in stocks, you know so much about business. Like if he had just waited, gone to college, spent 4 years learning like hedge fund shit, he probably could have been making millions of dollars like legally.
his mother's real estate office. Now, he was still on his grind of becoming a young millionaire, but he was becoming restless. He wasn't content with being stuck working a typical job. He wanted more. He wanted something lucrative, something thrilling, something that would fit the CEO type of lifestyle he always yearned for. But thankfully for him, his older brother Jacob had just the right thing for him. Jacob Huffhines lived a vastly different life than his ambitious sibling. Born 3 years apart, Jacob spent a majority of his teenage years getting into some pretty serious shit. By the age of 17, he faced charges for marijuana possession and underage drinking. By 22, he was a convicted felon and earned himself some jail time on charges of dealing cocaine and running a drug house. But despite these obvious signs that he should step away from the world he veered himself into, Jacob always found a way back into the drug trade. He never learned from his mistakes and instead dove headfirst into learning all about the world of dealing. And
the weirdest thing is whenever you hear about these stories, they are, it's like an almost got away with it type thing. Like they sold 2 million carts. There was probably a point where they made like $5 million and they could have dipped and didn't. Like, and I'm not saying, oh, they shouldn't have done this in the first place. Obviously that. But it's like, same shit with that. What's that one story of the kid and his friends in Canada in like the 80s? And they moved like $50 million of weed from Canada into the United States over in high school. Like these kids were like 17 years old, drug trafficking like hundreds of pounds of weed. And it was the 90s or early 2000s. It was like a while ago. And there's a whole movie on it. And they made so much money and then they just kept expanding. And it's like at some point, bro, now the FBI's looking for you.
eagerness to continue selling drugs.
Yeah, kid cannabis.
Aligned perfectly with the rise of THC carts. Mind you, this was early 2018, a time when these products were starting to catch fire and become super popular. Legal gray areas and a growing demand.
What other fucking fake ass carts did they sell? Yo, how to tell if your carts are fake. I remember I used to look that shit up all the time. They'd be like, scan the QR code. Shit would bring me to a fake website. I'd be like, it's fine. Bro, they had ones that were all themed like some weird shit. The more
To macerate, start by pouring half a cup of citrus juice into a deep third pan.
Like Rick and Morty,
Add 2.5 cups of red onions,
because it's like
1 cup of jalapenos,
gonna actually fucking legally
and 2.5 cups of cilantro.
So they just start making.
Then
ones
mix
like
with a
this.
spatula to
like,
macerate.
I don't even know if this is fake, but like this is more realistic. Like, oh, exotic carts.
Cut the avocados
That
in
might
half
be a real
lengthwise
brand.
through the stem area.
Strawberry banana flavor.
Place the avocado halves
That's how
cut
you know
side
that
down
shit's
on a
fucking
clean and
laced, bro. Like, you gotta
sanitized
be
sheet
smoking
pan.
some shit that tastes
Remove
like
the pit with
straight
your
fucking
knife and
skunk.
discard into a
And
deep
for
third pan.
discreet, high-potency cannabis
When the sheet pan
products,
is
we're
full,
creating
begin a second
gold
layer
mine for
by
those
placing the
willing to take
avocado
the
halves
risk
cut
of
side
dishing
up.
them out. And Jacob,
To prepare the
Fake
guac,
carts are fake.
scoop out the
In my
flesh.
own weed brand, like
Place it
Flight.
into a
who
mixing bowl
listening
and
to
throw
his
away the
mom's business
skins.
meetings and pleading to open his own bank account. By 7th grade,
Onions,
he was already on his grind.
1 cup of
flipping
jalapenos,
Carts
and
from.
2.5
Right,
cups of
through,
cilantro.
Through, dude.
Then mix with a spatula to
you have the
macerate.
kid that's selling 2 million fucking Rick and Morty carts across the United States for years, learning
Cut the
like,
avocados
hey,
in half lengthwise
2 million
through the
carts.
stem
There was
area.
probably a point where they made like $5 million.
1 cup of
and they
Valorant.
could have
Start by
dipped
pouring
and
half a
did
cup
it.
of citrus juice
Like,
into
and
a
I'm
deep
not saying,
third
oh, they
pan.
should just shouldn't have done
Add
this in the
2.5
first
cups
place.
of red
Obviously
onions,
that, but it's like
1
same
cup of
shit with that.
jalapenos,
What's that one story? The kid
and 2.5
and his
cups of
friends in
cilantro.
Canada in like the
Then
80s,
mix with a spatula to
and
macerate.
They moved like $50 million of weed from
Cut the
Canada
avocado
into
deep
the
third
United
pan.
States.
1 cup
Over-
of
in high
cilantro.
school. Like these kids were
And
like
2.5 cups of
17
by pouring
years
half a
old,
cup of citrus
drug
juice into a
trafficking,
deep third
like
pan.
hundreds of
Add
pounds
2.5
of
cups
weed.
of red onions,
It was the 90s.
1
or
cup
early
of
2000s. It was
jalapenos,
like a while ago.
and
And
2.5 cups
there was
of
like a whole
cilantro.
movie on it. And they made so
Then
much
mix
money,
with a spatula
and
to
then they
macer
just kept
jalapenos, cups of
expanding.
1.5
And it's like at
citrus
some
of red,
point,
1/2
bro,
cups of
now
cilantro.
the FBI's looking for you.
Then mix with a
Eagerness to
spatula
continue
to
selling
macerate.
drugs.
Yeah, kid cannabis.
Drugs align perfectly with the rise of THC.
Cut the
carts.
avocados in half
Mind you, this
lengthwise
was
through
early
the stem
2018,
area.
a time when these products
Place the
were
avocado
starting to
halves
catch
cut side
fire
down
and
on a
become
clean and
super popular.
sanitized
Legal
sheet
gray
pan.
areas and
Remove
a
the
growing
pit with your
demand.
knife
What
and
other
discard into a
fucking
deep third
fake-ass
pan.
carts did
Your
they
knife.
sell?
Place the
Yo,
avocado
how to tell
avocados
if
in
your
half
carts are fake.
lengthwise
I
through
remember I
the
used to
stem
look that shit
area.
up all the time.
Place the
They'd be like,
avocado
scan
halves
the
cut
QR
side down
code.
on a clean and sanitized sheet
Shit would
pan.
bring me- shit would
Remove the
bring me
pit
to
with
a
your
fake
knife and
website.
discard
I'd
into
be
a
like,
deep third
"Ah,
pan.
it's fine." Bro, they
When the
had
sheet pan
ones
is
that were
full,
all
begin a second
themed
layer
like
by
some
placing the
weird
avocado
shit.
halves
The
cut
more
side
real-
up.
I think
prepare
that's
the
why
guac,
they stepped away from making
scoop
fake
out the
carts that
flesh.
were like Rick and Morty.
Place it into a
Gravity
mixing
Falls
bowl
themed
and throw away
shit.
the skins.
Because it's like clearly
Fully
nobody's
mash the
gonna actually
avocados
fucking
until
legally
well
sell
blended
that.
and fairly smooth.
So they just start making ones like this.
Pour
Like,
the
I don't even
mixture
know
from
if
the
this
deep
is
third
fake,
pan
but, like,
over
this
the
is
mashed
more
avocados.
realistic. Like, oh, exotic
Sprinkle
carts.
3
That
tablespoons
might
of
be a
salt
real
into the
brand.
bowl. Mix
Strawberry
until
banana
everything is
flavor.
evenly
That's how you
combined.
know that shit's fucking laced, bro.
Taste
Like,
to
you gotta be
ensure
smoking
proper
some shit that
seasoning and
tastes like straight
texture.
fucking skunk.
Portion the
And
guac
for
evenly
discreet,
into 3 deep
high-potency
third
cannabis
pans.
products, we're creating a gold mine for
Using
those
1
willing
layer,
to
pushing
take
the
the
guac
risk
the
of
mixture
dishing
from the
them out.
deep
And Jacob, who
the
Cake carts
avocados
are
until
fake.
well blended
I
and
hit a
fairly
cake cart
smooth.
one time.
was already deep into this world,
Pour the
saw
mixture from the deep
before
third
one of my
pan
philosophy
over the
classes.
mashed
Oh my
avocados.
God.
Sprinkle
That was
3
junior year.
tablespoons
I
of salt
pull up.
into the bowl. Mix
I can't
until
name the kid.
everything is
He's
evenly
there. He's in my
combined.
class. He goes,
Taste
"You
to
know, you
ensure
wanna hit
proper
this?" I go,
seasoning and
"Oh,
texture.
Sure. Oh, sure.
Portion the
Fucking-
guac
because it was, like, the
evenly
end of
into
the
3
year.
deep third
I had
pans.
already done my debate, so we just had to sit
Using
in
1
class
layer
for like
plastic,
3
push down
hours
on the top of the
and fucking
guacamole
watch.
to release air.
So I hit that shit.
Cover.
I'm like, is that real?
Label
He's like,
and
"I don't know."
refrigerate.
We walk through.
Air.
They end up smoking
Cover.
cigarettes. I've told
Using
this
1 layer
before.
plastic, push down
They're
on the
smoking
top of the
cigarettes while
guacamole to
talking.
release
I'm
air.
like pretty high.
Cover.
And then our professor
Label
walks
and
up. He goes, "How you
refrigerate.
guys doing?" 2 of the dudes I'm standing next to just smoking cigarettes. You're allowed to smoke cigarettes, though. You just have to be in a certain area where you're allowed to. I think that's why they stepped away from making fake carts that were like Rick and Morty, Gravity Falls themed and shit. Because it's like, clearly nobody's going to actually fucking legally sell that. It was the 90s or early 2000s. It was like a while ago. And there was like a whole movie on it. And they made so much money. And then they just kept expanding. And it's like at some point, bro, now the FBI's looking for you.
eagerness to continue selling drugs.
Yeah, kid cannabis.
Align perfectly with the rise of THC carts. Mind you,
Open the lid of the Samick, insert the plastic and grater disc, close the lid, and lock. Insert the plastic stopper into the lid, Samick, open the lid of the Samick, insert the plastic and grater disc, Close the lid and lock. Insert the plastic stopper into the lid and twist to lock it. Plug in the Samick. Turn it on and lift the handle. With gloved hands, put 1 block of cheese into the Samick. Plug in the socket. Plug in the Samick. With gloved hands, put 1 block of cheese into the Samick. Using very little pressure, push down on the lever and try the cheese into a deep third can. Cover, label, and refrigerate.
Man, this is boring.
Kept smoking cigarettes. I've told this before. They're smoking cigarettes.
Place a mixing bowl on the scale and tare to 0. With gloved hands, add 2 pounds of red onions. Mixing bowl on the scale and tare to 0. With gloved hands, add 2 pounds of red onions. Then, 3 pounds of bell peppers. Mix until they're evenly combined. Pour the mix into a deep third pan. Cover.
Label and refrigerate.
Church bells and quiet sounds, tell them quiet down. Bow your head, the most highs around. Cocktails, guys and gals, fancy ties and gowns happen now. My entire sounds, how you trying to sound? Stop it now. They ask me why I don't go to church no more. Cause church is the new club, and wine is the new bub, and lies is the new drugs. My sister the next stripper, my brother the next victim, my usher the next tripper. Satan giving out deals, finna own these rappers. The game is full of slaves and they mostly rappers. You soldiers so first in your homies after. Who told these stupid field niggas they could own they masters? Holy smokes, I think my pastor was the only folk to own the Rolly Ghost and Rolls Royces with no Holy Ghost. And get your shit prepared, face your fears. Oh, you niggas scared, say your prayers. Pray you fit upstairs, it's our only hope. Church bells and choir sounds, tell them quiet down. Bow your head, the most highs around. Lord,
These things are not right. These things
Lord.
are not right. Hell, nobody's in
Lord.
the mind.
The pastor had the dame for designer glasses. Yeah, I'm talking fancy plates and diamond glasses. The ushers keep skimming the collection baskets, and they trying to dine us with some damn wine and crackers. Who's more important than your Lord and Savior? Won't let the pearly gates up in this, probably due to all your poor behavior. My mental got a couple tips to save ya. Just be sure to count it as my only favor. Thank me later. Every night I stayed up, say your prayer, made me greater. Let's savor chasing green for collard greens and baked potatoes on the table. Pray for cable, hit the label. Now we major high. I got my own relationship with God, Lord.
As of this morning, if you could believe it.
Changed. Sounds normal, right? But with expensive server hardware, we always check. First thing, the socket. Lit up all the pins. Perfect. No damage, no issues. So it looks like a clean return. But then I take a closer look. Check the corners, the edges, flip it over, and there it is. Damaged components on the back of the board. This didn't happen in shipping. This happened during installation. Most likely, the customer slipped, broke it, and sent it back like nothing happened. But here's the thing, on eBay, we can deduct up to 50% for damaged returns. So we adjusted the refund to cover the loss, because changed my mind doesn't always mean what it says. This motherboard was returned with the reason changed my mind. Sounds normal, right? But with expensive server hardware, we always check. First thing, the socket. Opened it up, all the pins. Perfect. No damage, no issues. So masters. This motherboard was returned with the reason changed my mind.
Measure 3 3/4 cups rice bran oil into a measuring pitcher and set it aside. Measure red wine vinegar to the 1 1/4 cup mark on the blender pitcher. And oil into a measuring pitcher and set it aside. Measure red wine vinegar to the 1 1/4 cup mark on the blender pitcher. Measure 3 3/4 cups rice bran oil into a measuring pitcher and set it aside. Measure red wine vinegar to the 1 1/4 cup mark on the blender pitcher. Measure honey to the 2 cup mark on the blender. Add a 1/4 cup of cold water, a 1/4 cup of salt, and 2 tablespoons of adobo. Cover the blender pitcher with a lid. Add a 1/4 cup and 1/4 cup mark on the blender pitcher. Measure honey to the 2 cup mark on the blender. Set it aside. Measure red wine vinegar to the 1 1/4 cup mark on the blender pitcher. Measure honey to the 2 cup mark on the blender. Add a 1/4 cup of cold water, a 1/4 cup of salt, and 2 tablespoons of adobo. Cover the blender pitcher with a lid and cap the adobo pitcher. Measure honey to the 2 cup mark, 1/4 cup of salt. Add a 1/4 cup of cold water, a 1/4 cup of salt, and 2 tablespoons of adobo. Cover the blender pitcher with a lid, salt, 1/4 cup of cold water, a 1/4 cup of salt, and 2 tablespoons of adobo. Flip the switches to low and on to begin blending. Remove the cap right away, and in a slow, steady stream, pour the oil into the vortex. Pouring the oil into the vortex correctly will take 2 minutes. Turn off the blender after the vinaigrette has emulsified and remove the blender pitcher from the base. Add 1 tablespoon of black pepper and 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. Stir with a ladle. Taste for seasoning. To portion, ladle 2 ounces of vinaigrette into a portion cup to use as a visual guide for portioning the rest of the vinaigrette. Pour the vinaigrette into the remaining 29 portion cups, straight from the blender pitcher. Then cover all the portion cups with lids. Place the portion cups in 2 deep third pans, label with a 4-shift secondary shelf life, and refrigerate. Place bag of remaining unused adobo in a 6 pan. Cover,
Label and refrigerate.
I'm an alligator. I'm a mama, papa coming for you. I'm the space invader. I'll be a rock and rollin' bitch for you. Keep your mouth shut. Just walking like a big monkey bird. Like I'm busting up a brain for the world. Keep your electric on me, babe. Put your ring on my head. Press your space face over my love. Freak out in a moonage daydream, oh yeah. Don't fake it, baby. Lay the real thing on me. The church of mad love is such a holy place to be. Make me, baby. Make me know you really care.
Watches
Make me
these
jump
cops
into
right step into this guy's property. Even though he repeatedly asked them to leave, they just kept standing there. So just wait to see how he puts these clowns in their place.
Keep your electric on me, babe. Put your ring onto my head. Press your space face close to my love. Freak out in a moonage daydream, oh yeah.
He later walked away in shame. Watches these cops right stepped into this guy's property. Even though he repeatedly asked them to leave, they just kept standing there. So just wait to see how he puts these clowns in their place.
The new shower installed like imagine ruining your entire life because of the trash can. Travis is supposed to help this dumping everything out in its sleeping. Lord's trash can after the next one champion. Years later spotted half the green the trash can home.
It's hard to believe, but this camera can take pictures without a lens. You can make it using just a matchbox and a roll of film. The most important part is keeping the inside completely dark because the film is very sensitive to light. This camera is a relatively roll instead of a lens. That's why it's called a film camera. It works using a simple rule of physics. When light bounces off an object, it passes through the tiny. Light rays from the sun spit an image on the film inside the camera. It's hard to believe, but this camera can take pictures without a lens. Make it using just a matchbox and a roll of 35 millimeters. The most important part is keeping the inside completely dark because the film is very sensitive to light. This camera is a relatively roll instead of a lens. That's why it's called a roll camera. It works using a simple rule of physics. When light bounces off an object, it passes through the tiny.
Boss, don't forget about me. Thank you for the 20-cent tip. Appreciate that, bro. Go to the cause. Be able to get away at M tonight. No, boss, don't forget about me. Thank you for the 20-cent tip. Appreciate that, bro. Go to the cause. Be able to give it away at M tonight. No, boss, don't forget about me. Thank you for the 20-cent tip.
is the suckiest army in the galaxy. Why don't you just blow up the mothership? Then Captain America answers, we didn't know that was a thing. Rocket starts laughing at them. And suddenly from behind, he starts to Rocket's head. Bursts out the
him with her very own cousin, the whole world was in awe. This isn't a plot line from Game of Thrones, this really happened. And while many people are making jokes about the situation, they are actively ignoring the very real possibility that both of these people might have just ruined their lives. On June 4th, 2026, I Am Not Kenneth exposed his ex-girlfriend Catalina on his YouTube channel.
My girlfriend cheated on me with her cousin.
Kenneth would go over in detail about how his ex would always be on FaceTime with her cousin. Initially, he didn't
Start
think
by
it was
pouring
weird
1/4
until he
cup citrus
discovered
juice
she was
into a
actually
deep third
cheating
pan.
on him.
Then mix in 2 cups of red onions, 1/3 cup of jalapenos, and 2 cups of cilantro. 2 cups pan. Then 1/4 cup citrus juice into a deep third pan. Then mix in 2 cups of red onion, 1/4 cup. Start by pouring 1/4 cup citrus juice into a deep third pan. Then mix in 2 cups of red onions, 1/3 cup of jalapenos, and 2 cups of cilantro. 2 cups of third pan. Then 2 cups of red onions, 1/3 cup of jalapenos, and 2 cups of cilantro. Mixing fresh ingredients with citrus juice is called macerating. Add 1 tray of tomatoes to the mixing bowl. Add the mixture from the deep third pan to the tomatoes. Sprinkling bowl. Add the mixture ingredients with citrus juice is called macerating. Add 1 tray of tomatoes to the mixing bowl. Add the mixture from the deep third pan to the tomatoes. Sprinkle 2 tablespoons of salt. Mix well until evenly combined. Taste to make sure it's seasoned correctly. Place the mix into a deep third pan. Cover.
Label and refrigerate.
Citrus juice into 2 cups of red onion, 1/3 cup of jalapeno, 2 cups of cilantro, of red onion. Mixing fresh ingredients, cilantro. 1/3 cup, 2 cups of cilantro.
He has a litter robot with like a webcam on it, and it's placed in the bathroom. And what he found shocked everyone.
He was on FaceTime just showing straight yams to them. Like I'm talking about 360s in the camera, grabbing the yams, just everything, bro. Just butt naked, bro. And at that moment, bro, my heart sunk, bro. I was like, damn, it's GG. She just cheated on me.
Instead of immediately confronting her, he convinced her to give him her phone real quick. And then he locked himself in his room. What you're seeing right now are the messages between her and her cousin. There is a lot of receipts throughout this entire story, so I'm just going to summarize it, but at any point in time, feel free
Start
to
by
pause the
pouring
video
1/4
and hit
cup.
that subscribe button for me. They're sending each other messages like, every time I think of the future, I always picture you in it. Like, I'll be thinking this isn't going to go anywhere. Not because neither of us don't want it to, but because it can't. And that'd be messing me up. I really wish we just weren't cousins. We both agreed we'll always be close no matter what. So you know you'll still be here, kinda, if this has to end. Implying that they're in a relationship together, and it's not just them messing around on the side. Like, they are together. And in each text like this, she reciprocates the energy and even hints at her being heartbroken before, which she actually talked about a little bit in one of her earlier clips.
But back when I was like, I don't even know the age to be honest. I was young. I was just hitting puberty. Me and my cousin,
L story, yeah, get
we
to the
kind of had a
point.
thing. We kind of had a thing going. But like, it was kind of one-sided though. It was more so me. But like, I remember like, I had a big crush on this because we were best friends. And at the time, being best friends with a guy when I'm just hitting puberty and like my hormones are a little bit like peaking, you know what I'm saying? I kind of associated him with that.
I guess she couldn't hold on to the weight of such a dark secret because why are you even revealing this to the public? It's clear that they didn't even know how to process their emotions because they have things like promises and talks about sacrifice. I just find this really funny. Like, you two are grown adults. Sure, it's pretty nasty about what you're doing with the whole
loving your family thing
and the way that your kids will end up becoming super deformed. But if you two aren't even having kids, then just live your best life. I mean, at this point, the whole world knows your business. You might as well just go for it.
And I seen tons of explicit photos from her and him. I genuinely was throwing up. I'm not gonna lie, you could ask all my homeboys. I was calling them. I was in my restroom throwing up just nonstop, bro. Everything I ate prior to that, I threw it all up, bro. It was sick.
Honestly, I would be
Pour
sick
1/4
too. She
cup
provides this
citrus
video at the end where she
juice
says
into
some
a deep
stuff that I just want to point out real quick because they all come back at later parts in the video.
third pan.
You know,
Mix
before
in
we get
2
to the
cups of red
responses that will
onions,
likely
1.5
each one
juice
of their
into a deep
lives.
third pan. Mix in 2 cups of red
For some
onions,
reason, she
1.5
lied about how long she's been doing this. She also does this weird thing where she tends to use very loaded words. For example, here she says her and her cousin were going through something psychological growing up.
We used to have close relationships since we was young, and I think like on some mentally I think like we had some psychological going on when we were young because like when we was little jerks, like before even puberty, like we were like really close to where like some of our family members would notice it.
Which implies there was some kind of nefarious situation they were placed in. But if that's the case, she never mentions it throughout this entire thing. And lastly,
cups jalapenos,
this.
and 2 cups of cilantro.
Always been different than how I wanted you to be.
Yeah, remember this. This is very
2
important.
cups of red onion with deep third pan. Mix in
It
2
would
cups
take
of red
5
onion,
long days for Catalina to issue a response on the situation. And finally, on June 9th, 2026, she uploaded a video simply titled My Truth. And as I said before, this video is likely going to ruin either Kenneth's or Catalina's life. So we will tread carefully. No jokes in this part. Bro was bringing her to the goon cave, but surprised she cheated.
See what's going on, bro? Look at the energy you attracting, bro. I have never seen a with a goon cave street sign. What are you doing?